Hello, you guys. We're going to be talking about the playbook for our customer communication. Now, here's an old board I'll get to in a second. But first, I'd like to talk to you about a time where I saw a lot of money change hands, and it was about a year in the making. So there are these festivals which come across every 3 months or something like that. There are these large community events which sometimes has a city involved, which has multi-million-dollar budgets. It's got associations which communicate with businesses who have plenty of ability to create the event and benefit from it. So they get to the end of the festival time, and there had been 10,000 people coming through the event. And there were booths all over the place. Everybody was fed, happy. Everything was just, the politicians were there to capitalize on the event and get their name out, talk to their constituents. It was everybody gathered here. And at the end of the day, when we were all a little bushwhacked, the gals were off to the side, and they were counting the day's haul. And I heard one gal tell the other gal, "Oh, this is a lot of money." And it was this inside thing between them, and they put it in the bag and got it back, and it was proof of concept. It was validation. It wasn't ours to do anything with, but it was the way it was shown to us. The game was illustrated to us, and this event took a year to plan. So there was committee meetings every month, and there were businesses throwing down $2,500 to $10,000 to sponsor the event. And it was exciting because they were right up there with the banks. I mean, there were organizations who 4 figures, 5 figures was normal to them, and it's becoming normal. So I don't have the details on the whole, but the point is that it didn't happen overnight, but it happened, and it was strategically done. And there's some ways we can enhance it. So what we have here is an old board I made, and I'll just read it off real quick so it gets the points across. You'll write out the calendar and a desired list of exchange points. So gift card purchases, Eventbrite tickets, booking on OpenTable, ordering online, calling in on the phone. Activities, we get a list of revenue generating activities that we still love, because the game doesn't change when you know what your targets are and how you can communicate them. So number 2 is, if you're just starting out, is ensure complete registration with OpenTable, Google, Facebook, social media, GiftFly, your autoresponders. It can be both email and SMS messaging, which is text messaging. Push notifications is in there as well. Local organizations, and just write out a checklist. If you want a checklist for this, you can get it from us with the customer communication checklist. And this gives you omnipresence, which is really cool, all right? Because it builds a communication infrastructure for you that nobody can set the price on it because you built it. And the value is you can communicate on demand and more frequently. Now, once you have these channels built, you can input your promotional calendar, your copy for each offering, and desired exchange points into your created pipeline. So it can be pre-programmed with things like Hootsuite, whatever means you're doing. You'll just take the copy, you'll take whatever offering you have, and then you're going to present it through the channels you've selected. And they're selectable. It's all a la carte based on investment. You can put a lot of sweat equity into it and come out on the other side. Okay. Number 4 on this old board is to install tracking and automated reports for accessible performance review. So this doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. You can do it with Google Analytics. You'll put your universal analytics tag in your code by the header, in the body. And then when you have your phone, you can download, you can download the analytics app and look just like this. Okay, these 3 bars, find the Google Play Store. And then you can go through it from there, okay? So as you'll see on this side, you can see real time, your audience, your acquisition funnels, behavior, all your pages, your landing pages, all your goals. Every goal you've set out, you can track and literally in the palm of your hand. And you can use the Eventbrite organizer as well to create the events and get the tickets prepared for your holiday promotions, which we'll get into in a sec. Okay. And then fill in the white space in your customer's reception of your exchange offering. So frequency, baby. The game doesn't change because you're programming it in every week. Every day you can have a reminder out. You can have this calendar set up. Okay, so let's get rid of the old, and we'll start talking about the new. Okay, so the tape had gone off. That's all right. Well, that's okay. All we gotta do is put some tape back up. Okay, so it's situated. Now, start comparing some of the numbers because in the end we want you to come out ahead. So some of these sponsorships are, say, 2,500 to 10,000, and honestly it's all relative to what the value is you're getting from it. So for some of these festivals that have 10,000 people, one of the main sponsorships is this. The booth spaces, say those are $300, okay? Now, with gift cards and Eventbrite tickets, I can just say on New Year's Eve, one place had a major haul on, well, a few places did, by doing a live music on New Year's Eve. They sold tickets at Eventbrite. It was posted on Facebook, and they already had a loyal customer base, but because it was a holiday and it was something that everyone had saved in their calendar and they thought about it well in advance, they had live music set up, they had ticket prices set up, and let's just say they more than covered a booth space, okay? Now the game is how can we compensate for 4-figure, 5-figure investments? Okay, well, it's having our offerings organized. So let's say you've created gift cards in a value of $25 to $500, all right? You went into giftfly.com, you created your account in about 10 minutes, and you can see examples of this on restaurantcustomerfactory.com. Or not .com, but our Facebook page here. You can see on the left, go to the gift cards tab and you'll be able to see it. You can control the amount, the imagery, where it's hosted through Facebook, email, text messaging. You've got this purchasing ability with you set up, and the fee can be between the merchant and the customer. You can decide who pays the fee. Anyways, you've got this built, and you can send this out every week through your autoresponder, which has a price of $25 or something like that. Some software that's $25 a month. Okay, so you sell one gift card, you've covered it, or whatever your average check size is. mean, you know your monthly take, you can compare it to these things. Now, so you've got gift cards, you've got Eventbrite tickets, and these are totally malleable prices. You've got your, you say your loyalty members. These might be your Mug Club members, which are $30 a month or whatever your piece is. A lot of people do this annually. So you got your loyalty member price, your early admission, let's say that's $20, something like that. And the thing is, we're going for the masses, so it raises. And then you've got your VIP experience, or whatever labels you want to put on here. You've got these tiers built in that are being offered to your customer base. We'll say it's $45 for a VIP pass. Okay, there's a place downtown called Society, and it gets a special seating area that will allow you to be apart from the crowd if you feel like it. So you got these targets which you can communicate through the channels we already listed. Okay, your omnipresence channels, your Facebook, autoresponders, push notifications, signage, papers you printed off, newsletters, and you can compare it back to your targets with certainty, because you're orchestrating this over years and months. So there's going to be a day where your months of preparation lead to your harvest. Okay, that's why we want to get a jump on this quick, because it can take 3 months to a year to build up. And there's some urgency with getting our offerings delivered. Okay, so what are some other things we can do to bring in the cash? Well, there's OpenTable if you're in a larger city. Okay, OpenTable. It's $500 a month, and it allows you to save their credit card in advance and book a reservation for however many people you have. So if you have enough people and your average check size compensates for it, this could be a relative cost, a negligible cost, because you're in a larger city like Seattle or wherever, and this $500 investment enables you to make it easy on the customer. They do advertising for you. They do communication for you. All right. So there's one option. Then you've got your online ordering. Okay. So let's say online ordering. So where can they buy from you online? Google search. Facebook, your website, and a call-in number. Okay, so Google search, quickest thing you can do is get your Google My Business registration done and have some local guide reviews done for your place. So before you get wrapped up in paid ads, just finish your Google My Business registration. They'll validate your email, phone number, and physical address. Excuse me. Your website, phone number, and physical address takes about a week, and then you're set up with Google search. You can get some local guide reviews if you feel like it. It's a start to get you known, or they can order from you. Facebook. Create a Facebook page really quick. There's actually a new feature where they can order food. It's in the tab menu where they can order food for you, decide if it's pickup or delivery. and then you've already got your insights through Facebook set up. Your website, you can decide, hey, there's phone numbers which are easy to click on, and then they can call straight from their phone. You can process it with something like single platform, Stripe. I'm freezing up, but there's plenty of processors you can use there. Okay, it just had a brain fart. Your call-in number. Okay, your call-in number is what comes up in your search results. It's just putting in the information and then attaching a analytics tag to your call-in number. They can order from there. The prices are controlled. The margins can be set up and compared. So another call to action we have that's really easy is join our mug club. Okay, so it gets, usually there's annual openings for these mug clubs. It's like $30 a month, and they get a discount on beer or whatever perks you're looking to do, get delivered there. Some places have a waiting list. What this can enable you to do is add them to your autoresponder. Your push notifications, get them to like your Facebook page. The autoresponder and push notifications are more direct than liking a Facebook page because you can get lost in the ether. Okay. So what we're really going for is a direct communication line that doesn't cost us 5 figures or 6 figures and allows us to present these 2-figure and 3-figure offerings. Okay, so what can be done then is the conversation can revolve around what are we offering, at what price, through what channel, and it gets recycled. How are we preparing for the next gathering of 10,000 people? Because if we get a booth space where we can collect even a sliver of the 10,000 people, then we can present them with these listed out call to actions. Okay, so we can say there was another video where we ran the numbers, and it was actually for the barbecue festival. Happy to get it to you. There's 10,000 people. Okay, let's say we only want. I'm drawing dollar signs because there's so many people. There's money to be had there, and directly in the booth and in future communications. Okay. Even if we get a sliver of this, I can't remember the math, but even a small fraction of this percentage, let's say it was something like 5% of 5%, still covered with an average check size. So let's say the average check size was $8, and 5% of 5% times $8 still covered the investment of the booth space, and you got new future patrons. The way this becomes a force is every week you're delivering an offering, and then you become just like Olive Garden, Buffalo Wild Wings, Sherry's, Denny's. If it's good enough for the people who have been doing this for 7 or 8 years, if it's good enough for the people that have franchised it, isn't it good enough for us? I mean, some of these reference points have been doing it for 7, 8 years and have built it out well. So when we get through the conversation and we get through the kinks, then we have offerings being delivered regularly. Reason it's urgent is so that we can build this database as we go. It takes a half an hour to get an autoresponder up and a Facebook page. Those 2 entry points are a way into your offerings. The excuses are removed because we have so many capabilities at our hands. All we have to do is take responsibility to build it out. So if you're with us in the endeavor to build it out, then give us a call. Give me a call at 360-789-7627 so that I can understand your targets. And once you understand your targets, we can reverse engineer it with the softwares others have already created, with the resources others have already given us. We can reverse engineer from your targets. Okay. Oh, I said I'd go for an hour, and it's about half an hour, so we can keep rolling with this. All right. Now, why do these events have such a success that draws so many people in? Well, it's a team effort. Okay, when businesses sponsor these events with these masses of people, they're leveraging an event which has a year of planning behind it, and they've got supplies already gotten. There was a brat booth, okay, and the brats were gotten at one price, and the buns and everything. There were funds allocated for the event, okay, with a designed margin in advance. And it's what we're repeating, okay? It doesn't cost us anything to create these e-gift cards, and we're offering them through software with a fixed price. And we're just repeating it, we're refreshing it and reprogramming it because we are aware of the numbers in advance. Okay. Not to mention they've got the whole town involved, okay? So we can get others involved when we simply remind them of our events, when we simply remind them of your offerings consistently, okay? And it doesn't have to break the bank to deliver the message because we can ensure it's relative. We can ensure that it's a relative delivery mechanism to the reward. All right, there's a little something for you. A $2 bill, okay? $2 bills are pretty rare, and just like someone who takes responsibility for the promotional calendar and says, all right, I have to own what I'm delivering to my customer database and give them a reason to patron the establishment. Build it and they will come is great, but you've got overhead, you've got rent, staff, taxes, you've got all of these factors coming in at you that few understand. So this is how we can alleviate the pieces, okay? Oh, I had like a back thing there. This is weird. Okay. I don't give a crap about the angle on the camera or the one shoulder shrug. It's the timing. The time is now because in 6 months there's going to be another event like this in 3 months. They're already planning the next event where there is going to be a mass of people we can capitalize on. Okay, we have to get involved in this yesterday, a week ago. These offerings have to be live yesterday. I feel so strongly about this because we want to champion the restaurant industry. We want to take you on our shoulders and lift you up because you've signed up for things that took courage. Okay, you've signed up for creating an environment. There's a Tipsy piano bar, great place. They got pianos. There's live music for the piece, but it's a family asset. And the reason we care about it is because you took the risk of creating the space, and now we want to fill it with customers so it serves its function. And you can have the reward after having the courage and doing the battle for years. Okay. All right. So I don't know how much we talked about tracking. We got a little lost in this, but well, not lost. It's just it's all alive and it's all continuously being updated. So let's talk about examples. Let's talk about hard examples. Okay. On New Year's Day, there were about 6 restaurants and bars looking for the community to come in and be their patron. Okay, so they had incentives like a $1 champagne toast, live music. A lot of places had live music, and there were 3 or 4 competing bars and restaurants. Okay, they posted it on Facebook, and they had Eventbrite. Well, one place had Eventbrite and Facebook connected. One place had Facebook Live, and they put their messaging out through these 2 sources. Okay, which is wonderful. It was very effective. It was very effective for them. However, if they had their own database, if they were sending out a text message 2 weeks in advance or an email 2 weeks in advance, hey, we've got this great New Year's Eve party saved for you. Get your ticket here, or just come on down on this day. Save it in your calendar. Here's how. We've got this Add This software where you can save it in your Google Calendar, your iCalendar, or Outlook. Save the date. We've got some treats for you. And instead of people looking for events, you're being proactive and sending it to your customer database. It's not hard to get them to join when we've got a reward involved. Okay, so you can create tickets. You can all your incentives. You can do a gift certificate for 15% off your holiday dinner with this gift certificate we created in marketinginunderwear.com/free graphic creator. It can be delivered through email, text message, printed off in person, whatever you feel like doing, you can send it to them. And then they're entered into either your push notifications by allowing it, your email autoresponder, or your text message autoresponder. You get these legs active and you start to get omnipresence. They like your Facebook page. They've joined your meetup group that comes regularly. You get omnipresence from from activating all these legs. Okay, some have more priority than others. Push notifications and your autoresponders are probably your best direct line because they're cost effective and you can control the content. And you know they'll be delivered. They won't get lost in the sea of social media. I'll give you an edge because others aren't doing it. Okay, they've got a sign at their bar saying you can buy gift cards, but it's not as easy as sending a leak saying, hey, Get your discount here. Hey, come and save your reservation for your President's Day dinner. All you have to do is click this link and click this other link. Tell us how many people are sitting there and input your credit card, and you're set. Okay? Good to go. So you're being proactive by delivering the offerings you wrote out in the customer communication workbook. Now, if you're familiar with the customer communication workbook and the customer communication checklist, you're in good shape because you can have everything organized. Here's our targets. Here's what we're going to send to who, when, and here's how much it's going to cost us. And here's the frequency we can put it in delivery. Then you get momentum because you're suddenly having more events than other people. You're suddenly communicating more than they are. And it's not another large expense in relation to the other things you've got to accommodate. Your staff can get on board because all this can be understood with an hour of conversation. Okay? It's just going beside them, saying we're gonna put the push notifications code in the head tag here, and then you're gonna sign into pushcrew.com and you're gonna schedule out. Send your Eventbrite tickets on Monday. Send a reminder on Wednesday for the Friday night event. When we got a deal going on, every time you've got a call to action, you can just pre-program it into these. And then know that there's attention for your restaurant because you are saying, hey, our Mug Club sign-up day is coming up. If you do it through the phone here, get $5 off. Or you come in person, it's $35, you know. And you're in a position of strength because you aren't setting the price of these communication channels. You already know them. You already know how much it's going to cost you and how much you have been making from it. Okay? There's a breakfast there's a breakfast club coming up. They saved it as a Facebook event 4 weeks in advance. They're getting 92 people interested. Some of these holiday events are having 300 people interested in them. And then another 70 who are saying they're going. Now those numbers, would they have meaning to your restaurant? Would they have meaning to your business? If 70 people came in on a night, do you think you could make enough money for the night? Okay. You get a cover at the door. People are selling merchandise. You get people buying a few rounds of drinks because they were able to invite their friends. And it refreshes and reprograms because somebody, not necessarily you, your team can learn this, is saying, hey, we've got this incentive for you. Come on in. Okay? And with an hour a day, you can present these offerings to your customer base. You ask, okay, how do we get them in? Well, we've covered a little bit, but you can print off a piece of paper saying, join our email newsletter, our text newsletter, go to our website and allow notifications through pushcrew.com. Whichever ones you've selected as active, you can just print off a piece of paper, have it at the point of sale, and say, hear from us here, and here's what you'll get from hearing from us. Okay. 41, we can rally. We can do this. Okay, because it goes on, but what I'd love to hear are your actual targets. So it's a two-way conversation. Okay? Because I'm guessing at that you want the same things other restaurants want and have. Okay? tell you about a time was in the San Francisco Bay Area. Was walking into a restaurant and wanted to have a conversation about how we could communicate with their customer base. Got up to the maitre d' and she informed me that it was owned by a conglomerate based out of Seattle. Restaurants Unlimited, I'd love to talk to them. It's something, they're on the communication list. But essentially, I realized that these restaurants, which look like mom and pop places, are owned by bigger organizations. And through years of conversation, we've discovered that if you have one restaurant, you probably have two or three. And they're viable, you've seen they're viable when you get the operations right. And when the staff is promoting things, they're friendly, they give them a good experience, which allow you to have a higher margin because you're making their night. Okay. And keeping track of all this can become a little much. I mean, maybe you're going over the books with your spouse or whoever, and you've already got all these columns to keep track of. You've already got plenty to do, and customer communication, while you know that it's valuable, you don't maybe have the energy or the time to do it. You can do this yourself. Your team can do it with a bit of communication. Okay, it's just a skill that you can get trained on, and then you can perform it. So it's just a checklist. If you want the checklist, comment below. It's also available as a PDF. You can find it on the site, along with the customer communication workbook. And anything you need, let me know. Okay, just tell me how I can be an asset to the restaurant industry. We found a lot of ways, but it's a two-way conversation. So to prove to you a little bit more how strongly we feel about this, it's nothing big. It's just a marriage certificate from 2017. Okay. We're in this to win this. We're in this to make restaurants super effective. All right. They can be. It's been validated by others, and we can continue to carry on the processes. Because it's all it is. The game isn't changing. It's just what moves do we want to make. So let's have a conversation about what moves we want to make. Give me a call at 360-789-7627. And if nothing else, you can look over the customer communication workbook, which has example offerings, example activities which hold monetary value to the restaurant and can be done in more frequency, can be done in a more cost-effective way, and can be activities which meet the original intention of the restaurant. Okay, we're at 45. Gonna go for the hour. We're here for the hour-long time. Okay, if there are any, it's okay. I mean, the time I could do this is a little off. It's in between phone calls, so I understand that you guys are busy folks, and you can figure this out on your own time. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment on them and get them out there, because sometimes a lot of people fight the battle in silence, and you don't have to do it with what's available to us. Okay, get some communication going, and we can work out the kinks. There's roadblocks, yes. Sometimes there are monster challenges, but we can gobble up those challenges because enough's available to us. Okay, so let's talk a little more about how do you get some loyalty to your restaurant. Okay. One popular example is live music. Okay, there's live music. There's paint and sip classes. There's industry events. You may have seen this, a direct mail piece gets sent out where there's a solar energy conference. People get a free dinner, a lunch and learn to come see another business's proposal for an hour. The next live video, it won't be so ripped. Okay. To see their hour-long presentation, they give them a meal and say, okay, come listen to our pitch, come listen to our presentation, and here's why you need solar energy. The tickets for these can be sold in advance, and setting them up, it's a series of emails. We've talked to some of these restaurant owners, and it's a lot of emails. Sure, it's legwork in the front end, but then you don't have to show up. I mean, the good days are when you as the owner know that you've built it and you can go do your thing, go do whatever you want to do because the operations are already in place and running. Any representative, I mean, anyone who cares about the restaurant can understand wanting to have things set up beforehand and having the ability to actually exchange created through Eventbrite and Facebook and all the channels you've selected. Right? Paint and sip classes, at least in downtown Olympia, they sell out in advance. There's been business groups which go there, and it's how they have their networking fun. Okay, they pay $35. The materials don't cost them that much, and people come in and they drink wine and beer and paint together. Okay. Proven popular, just like live music has. Storytelling events have been great, at least in Olympia. Got a lot of goodwill to the people who created the storytelling scene, and other shows. There's other entertainment. Entertainment is huge for bringing people in, especially on the weekends. We can let them know, hey, Saturday night, our place is a spot. We got this for you. You don't even have to think about what to invite your friends to because we've set it up for you. Here's your music. Here's your entertainment for the weekend. It'll just be a $15 cover charge. Come to the bar a few times, and if we got a bistro, hey, here's what you can have. You got your loyalty card? Great, you got a discount. And it costs us a negligible amount to send in a relative comparison. Okay. Oh, still good. Still good. It's okay. Then we're allowed to have a playground. You can have a playground with your customer communication because you've got your building blocks, okay? You got your communication channels. We'll do a review here. Facebook pages, your website, push notifications, Google Maps and local guide reviews, print pieces, newsletters, your direct mail pieces, radio, events with 10K in attendance and up. Any large gatherings, you can position yourself to intake the customers from places they're already going to be in. Add this software allows them to save it in their calendar. Facebook events, they can save it in their calendar. Eventbrite, you've got tiered tickets where you can set different price points out and create them every week, create them every frequency you decide on, with all the details set up in there in advance. Giftfly doesn't cost you a dime to create but sweat equity, and you can set it at different price points. So every holiday, we didn't really get into holiday promotions, but gosh, these go by, you can count on people having these days set aside. Okay, we got to do something for Valentine's Day. We got to do something for Martin Luther King Jr., the Super Bowl. Every place has a Super Bowl event created in Facebook. They can sell tickets. It's a way to get their inventory out to people who come in for it. If you have more communication channels than your neighbor, you've got the edge, okay? And then you can get reservations saved. If people are saving your event in their calendar instead of just finding it on Facebook, because they have to actively search. They have to go through Facebook events and say, oh, what's going on in town? Da, 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 da. Whereas if they're in your database, if they've selected allow and push notifications, you can say, hey, we've got this Super Bowl extravaganza. You can get in at this price. We've got discounted drinks. The game will be on the big screen. And here's all the reasons why we're the spot for this day. Save it in the calendar with your ad. Save it in your Google, iCal, or Outlook calendar. Just go to this link, buy your ticket, save it in your calendar, and show up for the good times. And then then you've got this out to the masses. And how much did it cost you? Well, for the push notifications, $25. And your upside is how much? Your upside is it makes the investments pale in comparison, because you see it for yourself. All right. The $25, at least the last time I checked, was to communicate with up to 2,500 people. Okay? And then it goes up to another tier. If you want to get it set up, you can go to pushcrew.com. You can communicate with us if you have any trouble with it, and then get these other channels active. Okay? We implore you to have things active. Some of the numbers which got brought up, I hope they have meaning to you, because people are capitalizing on them. Okay? You can have your master plan on the calendar and understand each component. You can have a sense of every building block and what it's doing for you when you get your hands in it. And you just start doing it. So you just get through the baby steps. You get through every piece, and you learn how it's done, and then you refresh it and reprogram it until you're confident. You can gain confidence in this because you're able to do each piece and see with your own eyes. So you build your Facebook page, great. They're able to call in within their Facebook page. They're able to message you directly if they've got a question. They're able to see your menu, order food from it, and be aware of all your events. Then you've got your Google My Business listing. So they can they can get right on their phone, go to Google My Business, they can Google your business, and it shows up because you've done this process. You've got your loyalty program active, which is at the point of sale. The piece of paper by your point of sale and at your entry point can communicate how they can join your communication channels. And then you're able to fill it with content you control and offerings of your Eventbrite tickets, your $20 loyalty program, your $45 general admission, and then your VIP price. And you're able to send these out because even in your phone, you can say, you've got your Eventbrite organizer app. Okay? You sign into it, you create your event for your live music this weekend. You got your 3 ticket prices. If you're doing a donation for some charity, you can set that up. You can have free tickets to get people in, and then they join your databases and buy beer, they buy your food, they exchange with you because you got them there from this cost-effective media channel. And you start this wash, rinse, repeat cycle. It's the same game with different inputs on your part and different calls to action. So if you have any questions, if you see that you got to get an infrastructure built so you're not dependent on people setting prices for communication that you don't have to abide by. You can, yes, it's great, you can leverage it, but first you can bank up because you are crafting this yourself. Okay? You are able to say, all right, we've got months of selling gift cards, live music tickets, and our regular meals. You got your drinks skyrocket on your holidays because you took care of it in advance, and you're banking on these large mass gatherings. It's a huge intake because you got a booth space for a fixed price you know about, and you're able to say our average check size is, say, $8. You're selling food and drink at the booth, and then you're also getting them added to your push notifications, or they're getting on your landing page and joining your email newsletter, your SMS newsletter, your Facebook page. They're aware of you, and you're able to communicate with them down the road for a fixed price. You know the upside. You know how things are. You got a good idea of how things are going to play out because others have done the same. Franchises buy these spaces, then they have gift cards set up. They have clubs. Sherry's has a club. Buffalo Wild Wings has a club. Olive Garden has an email newsletter and a club. They're all doing fine. They're all doing great because they built this for themselves. And when you're ready to talk about it, give me a call at 360-789-7627, and let's build this together. All right. Cheers. No, we're supposed to do a sales thing. Give us a call. Take care.